Hello again, everyone. Zack Attack is here, my WWE Raw review for this Monday, September 12th, 2016. Alright. After last week's Raw was a so-so Raw, coming into tonight with Clash of Champions, Clash of the Champions, 13 days away. And with this being the first Raw opposing Monday Night Football, especially the two-game opener, with the early game with the Steelers slaughtering the hell out of the Redskins. And currently, Frisco's winning over the Rams as I'm making this video. So with this in mind, tonight's Raw was a little better than last week. Not as good as 2 weeks ago. But hey, like I said, you can't hold one. Decent action tonight. Couple matches set for Night of Champions. And whether or not the main event would be a triple threat or not was determined tonight. And I said it last week, said it on Attack Sports, and I was right. We did have a screwy ending in our main event tonight, and it was with a purpose. As a feud we thought would be over, because one guy was currently out, he did return tonight to effect the finish of the match. We get to that a little bit later on. So with that in mind, decent little Raw tonight, decent action as we build upon the road to the first Raw pay-per-view, Clash of the Champions, and coming up there to a not bad SmackDown pay-per-view. Like, Backlash was not that bad. I liked it. So good, like 3 really good matches. The only clunker was the whole Bray Wyatt thing with Orton. But still. On with the beginning of Raw. No Stephanie tonight. Mick Foley was holding down the fort by himself as GM. And he almost lost control early as he called out Sasha Banks and Charlotte to discuss their upcoming match at Clash of Champions. There was little rumors flying about Sasha being pulled from her match against Charlotte. There was like little promotion for it over the weekend. They did air a promo during Backlash. They were apparently going to take Sasha out and put Bayley in as originally intended before Sasha's back injury was not as severe as people thought. And Bayley did come out during this interesting segment to begin. And we saw the seeds planted for a Dana Brooke Charlotte breakup. It's going to happen. It's going to be a slow burn. But we'd see the seeds planted. We saw it last week and it continued again tonight. As Dana was saying stuff, she was like, shut up or I'll slap you. Well, guess what? Dana slapped her too. Well, Charlotte didn't slap her, but Dana did. That led to a matchup, Sasha versus Bayley, and after that slap, Dana was inserted. And the winner of this match would take on Charlotte at the Clash of Champions. I said Night of Champions. I'm still getting used to that. That it's Clash of the Champions, not Night of Champions anymore. So we have triple threat to kick us off. Not better of a match to kick off here. Great action. Dana Brooke is still in experience when it comes to wrestling a bit, but she's doing good in this match. She looked decent. This match was all about Bayley and Sasha looking good, with Sasha doing a double knee stomp on both Bayley and Dana. Good spot there. And Sasha was, of course, selling her back injury. Despite Dana's best efforts for the surprise upset victory, she almost got pinned at one point by Bayley. The ending came. Sasha, despite her back hurting her after the double knee, she did put Dana in the bank statement at one point, but then Bayley came and break it up. And Bayley would deliver the Bayley suplex onto Dana, but then Sasha broke that up and rolled Bayley up in a great counter pin. 1, 2, 3 victory. Sasha Banks remains in the match against Charlotte at Night of Champions, the Clash of Champions. See? It's not confusing. Night of Champions, Clash of the Champions. Finding the fumble that I did. So there you go. Glad they're keeping Sasha in the match. Like, because she was holding her back a bit. But anyway, this is the feud I've been wanting to see. Sasha and Charlotte. The match itself was great, minus some botches. But I think the match at Night of Champions would be as good, better than SummerSlam, and probably better than their match on Raw. That's the high standard right now. It's the Raw match. And SummerSlam was not that bad. Botches took away from it, but it was still a fun match, and I hope this match is as good. And maybe better. So, there you go. Now on to our next matchup. the continuing push of Bo Dallas for some reason. We thought that whole Believe in Bo was one off because he was going to be wrestling the new Chinese wrestler in China. And of course lost. They want to build up some credibility to make sure he's not just known as a jobber. But this whole Believe in Bo continues. Despite getting kicked off of a pain recently, of course, as we all know, for public occasion, the footage appeared on the internet recently. I saw a bit of it. Wow. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So, anyway, Bo took on a jobber. He's looking aggressive. You know, it's best we're seeing Bo. You know, he's been misused by the company for a little bit since his debut in main roster, and trying to reinvigorate him with the I Believe in Bo, showing his aggressive side. You know, squash finish. One of the only few jobbers we had tonight. Not a squash mania like last week, thank God. Second hour didn't suck as bad as last week. Like I said, there was improvements. You know, still, like I said, better all than last week, I'll say that much. So there you go, Bo Dallas gets the victory. In a squash match, let's move on to the highlight wheel. Apparently, we were supposed to have Kevin Owens as a guest, Jericho's best friend. But Mick Foley was a stupid idiot and replaced Kevin with another stupid idiot as Sami Zayn would be called by Jericho. I was watching the football game. I was switching back and forth between the football game and this. I was watching it, but I didn't have no sound. But it was a great interaction between these two great guys. At least they're giving Sami Zayn something to do. Because Sami called Jericho Owens bitch. I didn't hear that part. And then Jericho delivered a cheap shot and delivered the cold breaker on the Sami, leading to a match that would be signed between these two at the Clash of Champions. I did it again. I keep saying Night of Champions. It's Clash of. So I'm glad they gave Sami something to do. I think Balor getting injured kind of affected plans because they were going to have him apparently be in a tag team with Neville, which would be bad for them because they need to be pushed a little bit higher than they would be. But I'm glad they're giving Sami an opportunity. They let him wrestle Rollins a couple weeks ago. Main event in Raw with Kevin Owens. And now he's going to have a decent high-up match against Chris Jericho. Went from being a SummerSlam pregame to probably be on the main card of the Clash of Champions. Yeah, I got it right. So there you go. Should be a fun match between these two awesome athletes. I'm glad Sami's getting a big part in the card. Doing a great promo against Jericho. Crowd was into it. So then Zayn's like, I love you, Jericho. You're my idol. You're a great wrestler and a guy that kind of proved that young guys and little guys can do big things. But you become a bitch, a caricature of yourself. That's when Jericho went off. And it should be a fun match between these two great guys. Now on to our next matchup, the fifth match of the best of 7 series. Yes, the series did not end over the week in London, China, all that through the international tour. This is all finally gonna win. You gotta win, got himself on the board. 3-1. Yay, at least it's not a sweep. And match 5 would be tonight, and better match than last week. Because Cesaro's back was not the main target from Sheamus. I think a beatdown match wasn't that way tonight. Using action, like using the best of, I've seen like best of 5 series and best of 7. Like most of the matches are great, and some of them are bad. I remember like the best of 5 series between Moore City Machine Guns and Beer Money and TNA. Like every match was awesome. This case, we're getting 5 matches, and like match 1 was good, match 2 was decent, match 3 was okay, match 4 sucked. This match was decent. Good action between these guys. This all looked really good despite his back injury still bugging him a bit. You look good with the uppercuts, big uppercuts at Sheamus. He would try to go for the uppercut. And a rolling ball. Cannonball the wing apron. They beat up on the outside. But then Sheamus keeps flying back with his big moves. They beat the boundary attempts. He was trying to attack the back big time and let his Clover leave. And big backbreaker. Irish curse backbreaker a couple times. But this all came back after that offensive fury from Sheamus with some big moves of his own, putting him in an attempt to tap him out, and the sharpshooter, and delivering the swing at one point. But they only did like maybe 1 or 2 swings because his back gave out. But that's where we got the Irish Coast backbreaker. And the Eddie King, which is all was being set up by Sheamus for the Celtic Cross, the Racer's Edge. But Cesaro would get out of it, wall up Sheamus, and holding on to the rope in his hand, 1, 2, 3 victory for Cesaro. Desperate men do desperate things, and it'll take any shortcut to win, especially when you're in Cesaro's position, when you're down 3 matches to 1. And you had to find a cheap way out, and guess what? He got the win. A win's a win. Holding onto the rope, get extra leverage, and he got the win. 3 matches to 2 now. Cesaro tired. They're probably going to have match 6 at the Clash of Champions. Unless they have match 6 next week and decide to have match 7 at Clash of Champions if Sheamus loses next week. So we'll see what they do. We'll see if they have match 7 next week. Oh, match 7 at night at Clash of Champions, or they're going to have match 6 at night at Clash of Champions. See how that goes. Speaking of matches for Clash of Champions, we might get this match at the Clash of Champions, especially the way the match ended. But I got some good news and some bad news. Good news is, no Braun Strowman squash! Yay! There's a sign I'm going to give him some real competition. Bad news, we still got a Nia Jax squash shirt. I know, that's the other good news. She did take on a name jobber, Alicia Fox, stemming from the segment last week, when Alicia Fox confronted Nia after Nia beat up her friend. So they had an okay little match here. It went to a count out that could set up a match at Clash of Champions if Alicia Fox can make it. Because it was a typical beatdown match. Nia just shoved Fox from the get-go. But Fox tried to get some offense in. But then brawled Nia to the outside. That's when the brawl on the outside began. With a double count out. And then Nia speared the fuck out of Alicia Fox through the timekeeper's area, through that barricade. Holy God, that was a nasty spear. Nasty spot. That was dominant for Nia Jax. Hope she gets some name competition. That's at least formidable now. That's the thing. Nia and Braun needs more formidable competition. At least another match with Alicia Fox. It could lead up to a match between them. The rematch at Clash of Champions. But we shall see where they go with Nia Jax. We're going to expect that nasty spot to Alicia Fox for that spear. So on to our next segment involving the New Day. And I love they did this. They apologized for that stupid, horrible segment with the club last week, the Old Day segment. Talk about what you could have done with that 5 minutes that they wasted. They said they try to be entertaining. That's our thing. And the club cannot do entertainment right. The New Day, they are the entertainment guys. They're the ones who can do the comedy bits. And they're awesome at it. That's why I'm not liking the way they're booking the club lately. They don't need to be a comedy act. They need to be dominant. They need to be fierce. They need to be intimidating. Not fucking doing comedy promos. That's not their style. After that horrible segment, they tried to press the reset button tonight and try to act more seriously as they headed towards their match, non-title, against Kofi and Xavier. Basically, well, they're not like I would normally complain about giving away a match on a pay-per-view for free on a wall, especially if it's non-title or not. But not exactly, because it's going to be Kofi and Big E at Night of Champions. Not Xavier like it was at SummerSlam when Big E was selling his wing post-itis injuries. That's when the club was being booked like shitty goons and stooges. So we have a tag. I thought it would be one-on-one, but it was a tag. As club looked dominating early, trying to erase the memories of their horrible booking and try to capitalize on the fact that their boy AJ Styles is the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Crown and Backlash. They isolated Kofi early to get the hot tag. Then Xavier coming out to fire some big moves. After they had a fun promo then Club did last week. Like I said, New Day's entertaining guys who does entertainment gimmicky segments right. But Club doesn't turn out right. We saw that firsthand last week. I think the Club and WWE both realized, guys, this ain't the right direction for you guys. Like, it took that segment for WWE to realize the Club is not a comedy act. And eradicated it. After Xavier came in as high-flying moves, some great strikes and big DDT moves. Big, I love the elbow he did, Anderson. The Gallows broke up the count, and Kofi tried to take him out. But then Gallows would take out Kofi. The Gallows would get a big kick from Woods. Then Anderson would attack Xavier, setting up for the Magic Killer. And the 1-2-3 victory for the Club. Looking dominant more than they have been recently. Now, this is the Club we need to see. Dominant Club. Evil Club. You know, look evil, look intimidating, look fierce. They look badass. Not make them look like a fucking joke like you've been doing the last couple weeks. Like I said just a few moments ago, I think it took that one segment last week to make WWE and the Club realize this is not the way you guys should be booked. We were wrong, the Club. We were wrong to book you as a comedy act. We tried it with you, and guess what? It failed. It failed miserably. That one segment last week is probably the worst segment on Raw ever. Next to maybe anything the Shining Stars do. But not exactly. But anyway, on to our next matchup. We did have a job of Palooza, but not as much. Like last week. Jinder Mahal comes up to Man of Peace. Man of Peace. He calls himself now. After losing to Sami Zayn and losing to Neville a couple weeks ago. Not the same night, but separate weeks. He would take on a guy we haven't seen in a bit. Nice to see him, though. Jack Swagger. Especially using him on the week of the 9/11 anniversary. You know, Jinder had a little promo with Watts from the crowd saying, like, Omastan. Oh, Shanti. Oh, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sorry, that's a Madonna song. From the Way of Life album, Deep Cut. Check it out. So I had to geek out there. Because when he said Shanti, I was like, I kind of know that word. Because Madonna said it in one of my songs. And my dad like reads the Hindu stuff. He's in that spiritual stuff. Anyway, okay, little matchup for these two guys. The lore mid-card. I do mean lore. Swagger came with some big moves. Trying to go to Patriot Lock at one point. And going for the Swagger bomb. But then Jinder Mahal had a great counter went for his finisher. And he actually won. Wow, I thought he was going to lose again. But apparently they're going to try to push Jinder. Hey, Heath Slater, his buddy, is now the SmackDown World Tag Team Champs with Rhino. Maybe going to lose him against Usos, but at least it's a good moment for him. And he gets a contract. Especially if that storyline gone well. Great storytelling. Like we've been the more smartest sense to give the Usos the belt. But they'll get it at one point to start a feud with American Alpha for them. When they come back from their storyline injury. So there you go. Jinder Mahal wins. Kind of a shock. Speaking of shocking, I was stunned that last week, Enzo and Cass lost to, of all teams, the Shining Stars. So now they wanted a piece of revenge, as Enzo would go one-on-one with Epico. Now the gimmick has gone over almost as well as the club's comedy skits. Not very well. But now they're trying to do the timeshare thing with the whole booklet thing. They even tried selling one in All Truth backstage, which led to the interaction with Enzo and Cass that led to this matchup. And Enzo looked good pretty early until some big moves from Epico, the vertical suplex, big little moves. But Enzo came flying back, some big jawbreaker, tornado DDT, but then Primo was trying to distract Enzo, then he got knocked out with a big boot from Big Cass. But then Epico was trying to capitalize with a big suicide dive under Big Cass, taking him out too. But then Enzo, as he was going for a big move, people would grab the leg of Enzo, pinning him, tripped him up a little bit, and on the outside, people got back up. He held on to Enzo's leg as Epico was pinning him. 1-2-3 victory with the help of people holding on to Enzo's leg. Epico gets the win. Wow. Shiny Star's actually getting pushed a little. Like, what kind of wood is this? Jinder Mahal's getting a little wub. Bo Dallas is getting a little bit of a wub. And now Shiny Stars are getting a wub. Pinning Enzo and Cass was over tag teams. Said last week, Shiny Stars can't get over with anything. But it could be worse for them. They could still be Los Matadors right now. They could still be one of those Mexican masks and those luchador outfits and have El Torito still. They'll probably say that to themselves, like, we gotta make this gimmick work. You know, the Shiny Stars gimmick. It's not getting over well with the crowd. We're not getting enough heat. But we gotta make it work as hey. It could be worse. We could still be Los Matadores right now. Which went over for a while, then it got stale. I like the Usos, now they're heel, and it's great. So, there you go. On to our main event. Roman Reigns against Kevin Owens with a match change at Clash of Champions on the line. If Owens were to lose to Roman Reigns, we would see a triple threat match at the Clash of Champions with Roman inserted with Owens and Rollins. Rollins and Owens had a little interaction backstage. And then Rollins wanted a piece of Owens, and he wanted to get involved, but Ford was like, I warn you, Rollins, don't get involved in this match, or there'll be dire consequences. So we start the match off. Owens and Reigns. Reigns got booed as usual. And the match, for the most part, was not that bad. Reigns held his own a little bit, but it was the Kevin Owens show, and I cannot wait to get that t-shirt. Owens looked like the major champ, and he held his own against the guy who can't do... Like, he can have good matches with... Like, Cena can have good matches with people. It takes two to tango. Especially if a good dance partner to carry his ass. Like Edge and CM Punk did. And, of course, Kevin Owens with Cena. And AJ Styles recently. But now, Owens is doing the same carrying Roman Reigns' weight in this matchup. But Reigns is good. You know his shtick. You know, deliver some man punch and all that. But at one point, his Owens was looking good. Seth Rollins did come out and get involved. You know, after Owens and Reigns were born on the outside. Nasty spots on the outside. Then that's when Rollins came in. And referee and all that threw it out. And it looked like Reigns was going to win by disqualification. And Reigns would be inserted in the match. That's not how this match, no Raw is going to end with Reigns winning. And getting himself in by a technicality. Because of Rollins' involvement. So Foley's like, we'll have a talk backstage, Rollins. But right now, we start the match between Owens and Reigns. And they got easily exciting, some back and forth action, near falls. As Owens delivered a cannonball to Reigns. Reigns delivered the Superman punch. But then I told you we're going to have a screw in. And we also even saw a frog splash attempt, I think, from Owens at one point. Reigns gave him his own powerbomb. And I said that we were going to have a screwy ending. That either someone's going to get involved, because one of these guys cannot be pinned clean. They got to be protected and have to lose screwy. It is a screwy ending with a purpose. As Rusev, a guy that I thought was going to get involved, he did. I said last week that Rusev was going to get involved in this matchup because he needed to continue his feud with Reigns. Because we haven't seen him the last couple weeks. You know, I thought their feud was done, especially after Randy was on his honeymoon. And I was like, you're on your honeymoon, Rusev? And you're supposed to be at a pay-per-view where every world title is on the line. Well, I said loosely every world title, besides his. But guess what? Now every world title will be on the line. As Rusev came out, distracted Reigns, low enough to get nailed by Owens with the upper powerbomb, with the 1-2-3 victory Owens wins. I'm glad he won. And I knew he was going to win screwy, but hey, I'll take a win. And then Rusev beat down Reigns, leading to the accolade to end War. So Reigns and Rusev's feud continues. Now, ever since SummerSlam, we haven't seen them at all. Because after SummerSlam, after Rusev got counted out in a match against Big Cass, we haven't seen much of these two interact because Rusev's been on his honeymoon. You know, from what I read. That's why he was on the wall last couple weeks. So after I saw Reigns come out, I was like, wow, the Reigns-Rusev feud's over? He's going to be inserted into the World Universal title picture? And I even said it last week that we're going to have a screwy ending. Someone's going to screw somebody. Whether it's Rollins screwing somebody or Rusev getting involved. And I thought in Attack Sports that Rusev would not be involved because of his honeymoon. But he's back, and he will probably have a match against Roman Reigns. Probably named next week. So, we're looking at the Clash of Champions card. The main event is still one-on-one, thank God, between Rollins and Owens. That should be a great main event. Club against New Day for the tag team titles. We got official tonight. Sasha Banks will still take on Charlotte for the women's title. Sami Zayn and Jericho's at it. We could see a Shining Stars Enzo and Cass match. We could see Nia Jax, Alicia Fox. And we could also definitely be seeing Rusev and Roman Reigns at Clash of Champions, hoping the match happens this time and not a screwy no contest like SummerSlam. Especially that was the co-main over Balor and Rollins. Bad move, people. Bad move. So there you go, everybody. A decent War night. Better than last week. Wasn't that bad. Some decent action leading towards Clash of Champions. See what happens next week on the Go Home show before Clash of Champions. Clash of the Champions. And with all of that in mind, y'all been attacked by the review from Zach. See you later, everybody. Oh, yeah.